Hello everyone, my name is Zoe Kanga and I am an environmental studies major at Yale University. As a low-income, high-achieving student, it was really important for me to find scholarship opportunities that still allowed me to attend high-rated institutions. I went to a really diverse charter school that had representation from all socioeconomic backgrounds, which means I was fortunate enough to be exposed to these programs early on. In this video, I'll be introducing what I think is the best scholarship program, QuestBridge. So what is QuestBridge? QuestBridge is a national program that attempts to connect high-achieving, low-income students with the nation's leading institutions of higher education. Through their programs like the National College Match and College Prep Scholars, students can receive a full 4-year scholarship as well as early admissions to the QuestBridge's network of partner schools. Of the 40-plus schools, there are 6 Ivy Leagues represented, as well as MIT, Stanford, UChicago, and many more. This is an amazing opportunity that can make a dream seem that much more realistic. My journey with QuestBridge actually began my junior year, when 4 members in the class above mine were finalists and had matched with their top schools by December. Through this, I was inspired to apply to the College Prep Scholars program, which can provide students with full funding for a summer program between their junior and senior year at schools like Emory, Yale, UChicago. All students have access to essay feedback, workshops, campus visits, and the top applicant in each state can receive a $1,000 grant for a new laptop or other application resources. Although shorter, this application mimics the College Match application as well as the Common App applications. Applicants are asked to submit an essay, respond to short answer questions, and provide information on their economic and extracurricular backgrounds, and ask for a letter of recommendation. In another video, I'll cover asking for letters of recommendation, but for now, know that starting as early as spring your junior year can make a huge difference come fall senior year. I did not end up submitting my application because I had found an amazing program at UChicago that was already covered for, but my friend ended up attending Yale Young Global Scholars covered, as well as received a Quest for Excellence Award and a $1,000 stipend. She now attends Columbia University as a QuestBridge scholar. Even though I didn't submit my application, I had no regrets because I had already started an application that helped me greatly when it was time to apply to the College Match program. Also thanks to QuestBridge, I was exposed to many different fly-in programs, meaning the fall of my senior year, I actually got to spend 3 days on Pomona College's campus, as well as attend workshops held by admissions counselors and attend classes. You can think of the QuestBridge application as the free alternative to the Common App or Coalition application. The application is due in late September and consists of 2 essays, short answer questions, information on your academic, social, economic, and extracurricular backgrounds, as well as 2 letters of recommendation. In a bit, I'll go through my own writing to give you an example of what the questions are like. Once the application is submitted, students are asked to rank up to 12 schools, and by mid-October, you are made aware if you're a finalist or not. From there, you submit school-specific application material, and by December 1st, you know if you've matched or not. Being a QuestBridge finalist does not guarantee that you'll match with your school and receive the full scholarship, but it does mean that you can use your application to send on to schools through early and regular decision directly through QuestBridge. The QuestBridge application consists of 7 short answer questions of 35 words or less. The questions include: what is your favorite subject to study? How do you spend a typical weekend? What is your favorite book or movie? What is your greatest source of inspiration? After a challenging experience, how do you rejuvenate? What is the best compliment you've received and who is it from? And finally, what do you think you'll contribute to your future college community? As you can see, none of my answers are show-offy, and I'm not really trying to impress the reader. I'm honest about how I really like to sleep, and over the weekends I want to just cuddle with my mom and relax because the school week can be so challenging. I'm not a huge reader, and I was honest about that, but I love movies and I can talk about them for hours. So really, in this part, you just need to give a genuine impression of who you are, and that's the best you can be. The next section of the application consists of 2 200-word responses asking about your proudest accomplishment and a historical figure you would like to meet, followed by a 500-word essay asking about your community, and then finally an 800-word personal statement that gives insight into who you truly are as an applicant. The prompt being, We are interested in learning more about you and the context in which you have grown up, formed your aspirations, and accomplished your academic successes. Please describe the factors and challenges that have shaped your personal life and aspirations. How have these factors helped you to grow? In order to accurately represent myself, I had to dig deep into family trauma, and in doing so, I uncovered some things that I wasn't prepared to hear. This wasn't an essay that I could have written in a day or even a week, and when it comes to college applications, that should never be your approach. It took me 2 months and many one-on-one sessions with my English teacher to come forth with something I was proud of. So here's my first essay that really is just free-form, fledged-out ideas. The first sentence reads, "My relationship with my father has always been a tricky one." And although this sentence is catchy and leaves the reader wanting to hear more, it doesn't really say much about me and could have been written by anyone. Here by the second essay, as I'm trying even more, kind of refining things, talking to my teacher, her advice is, again, this is a well-written essay that reveals a lot about your childhood as well as your relationship with the father, but it leaves little about you. The goal of a personal statement is to make it personal. This is your best chance to give the admissions office and this university or scholarship program you're applying to a chance to really get to know the whole you. And in doing so, you can give a genuine representation of who you are and why you belong at a certain institution. In the final iteration of my essay, I begin the first sentence by defining what my name means. In doing so, I introduce myself and subsequently define my identity as the mixture of both of my parents. I advise that you write essays with much depth and specificity and paint the picture of who you are. I also don't advise to write a sob story just because it's what you want a college to hear. And I hope you can see I'm not doing that. My essay actually ends on a hopeful note, and through fun anecdotes and backstory and a slight humble brag, I reveal to university what I provide and the adversity that I faced and how I've come out stronger because of it. I end on a joyous tone, and I hope that QuestBridge and whoever else that I was applying to could see that. Going through this document, it may seem weird that I have so many writing samples and so many different versions of similar or completely different essays. But a saying I stand by is that you can never write too much, and I've actually recycled nearly everything I've ever written. I will plug Google Docs here. I think it's the best thing. Keep everything in a drive, keep your drive very organized, and before you know it, you will be reusing that essay you wrote sophomore year on your junior year project. I promise you. But really know that it's good to have a choice in what you're writing and that you're not going to get everything right the first time. And your gut instinct on what to write about might not be what you end up submitting, and that's okay. But having that choice really gives you more control over your college application process, as well as helps you to really clearly express your thoughts. The goal of your essay is to show who you are and why you deserve to be admitted. If you can do that, you know that you're giving the best genuine representation of yourself, and any college would be lucky to have you. I also recommend asking your teachers or your friends or your parents or anyone to add a new set of eyes to your writing and to leave comments and give revisions. And no, this isn't because of bad writing. It just means that it can be improved, which is why, again, I suggest starting as early as you can. Summer before your senior year, really spring, junior year is the best time. And just, you're not going to get it right the first time. And I didn't. Even after all of this, I wasn't accepted into QuestBridge. I was not chosen as a finalist, and may that have been because of my financial status or something else, I'm not sure. But hopefully I got an email the next day from Yale saying, "We saw your QuestBridge application, and even though you're not a finalist, we hope that you still apply because we think you'd be a great fit for the school." And you can view this as sort of a likely letter for a non-athlete or another thing. And I continued and I applied through the common application early action to Yale. I submitted my material like the day before it was due, but I had a lot of writing already covered from QuestBridge. Everything I wrote, from my personal statement, from short answer questions, and even the Yale specific ones that I hadn't really gotten to, were very similar to the QuestBridge ones. And because of that, my application rolled over really easily. So I never felt that applying to QuestBridge was a waste of time, because even through this rejection, I was given a chance to, my application was read by Yale twice. I had lots of time to really think about my essays, to review them, and in the end, I got into Yale early, which was amazing, and I stopped applying to colleges after that. There's never a downside to applying, but there will always be that feeling of regret and what if when you don't apply. And I think that even if you start early and you don't put all your eggs in one basket, you can really see that applying for one thing is just going to help you apply for the next thing. And even without the QuestBridge scholarship, through Yale's amazing financial aid, I have full coverage, meaning full tuition and housing, and I receive a stipend each year for books. So again, know that there are options for you and that you should never be discouraged from not doing something. And finally, if you want help or someone to talk to, just again an eye to look out at your paper, keep watching my videos on Linkstory and reach out for some mentoring. I'd be happy to talk.